welcome back to my channel. If you're not new, if you are new, welcome. I am on a, believe it or not, 4-day trip. They got me. I have not done a 4-day trip, and I know over 2 years. Like, it's been probably 2.5 years since I've done a 4-day trip. Like, I only do 3-day trips. But technically, this comes out to a 3-day trip for me because today I only did 1 flight. And, well, I got paid for 3 flights, but only worked 1 flight. And on go home day, I only do 1 flight. And we got 2 flights tomorrow. And then 2 flights on the 3rd day, I believe. Anyways, the only reason why I kept this trip was because it had a long overnight in Austin, Texas, and an overnight in my hometown, and I was needing to go home anyway, so I was like, ooh, 2 birds, 1 stone. So it kind of worked out that way. But we are in Indianapolis tonight, and I've never had this overnight, strangely enough, but I've done a lot of turns out of this airport, but I've never stayed here now that I think about it. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a regional flight attendant for a regional company here in the US, and I fly for stay with me, I fly for 4 major mainline carriers, which I will not name, but if you pay attention to the attire that I have on, you can kind of guess. So we are on this trip, we're just doing the Widget Airlines all trip. We're not switching it up. My last trip, we did 2 different ones. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick room tour of this hotel because it's really cute. Looks like a little studio apartment, like seriously. So let's turn some lights on. The time's definitely wrong. 7:43. So let's do a quick room tour. So this is the front door. When you come in, you have a full kitchen with like an island, a dishwasher, a stove, a microwave, full fridge, all the things, like a full kitchen, like full kitchen. That's neat. Then you have a living room over here with a little sectional, little desk, little chair, a view of a little shopping center over here. And then you come over here, you have the bed and the the TV, I'm assuming, swivels around. It does. TV, and then closet. Oh, does this not open? You know what? I'm not trying to break nothing. Okay, closet. And huge bathroom. Huge bathroom. Love a good LED mirror. Why is the trash can sitting on top of the toilet? That's weird. Huge shower. This shower is huge. I hate these showers that don't have like a door because there's gonna be water everywhere. This little lip does nothing. Like, it does nothing. Anyways, not my problem. And then when you come back out here, you have this little area here to like get ready with like some little shelves and things. and some little drawers. I'm actually going to put my bag right there, actually. And oh, that's a locked closet. And that is our room. Oh, you also have this full length mirror here. And like this little ledge, which I really like with the outlet, because I'm going to put my watch and my work phone here, which I really like this. I wish all hotels had this because that's really convenient. Anyways, that is my room. Today was uneventful, just like we like it. Yeah, today was uneventful. Didn't nothing happen. Like I said, I was scheduled to have 3 flights today. So 3 flights are on my schedule. I'm getting paid for 3 flights, but I only worked actual 1 flight. I don't think I've ever said this in one of my videos. I don't think I've ever said this in one of my videos. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I don't think I've ever said it, so I'm not gonna say it until I know for a fact if I've ever said it. But yeah. So I'm about to get ready to get in the bed because I am tired. Our report time this morning was like 8:30 this morning, which is not early, but it's kind of early. It's not really early. That's the perfect time for me. Like, that's my ideal report time for me. Like, that's perfect timing. But our van time in the morning is 6 a.m. and that is early. So, yeah. So, yeah, if anything happens between now and then, I will come back and let you guys know. I'm recording on my phone because for some reason my camera, I'm gonna have to send it in to support and let them take a look at it because I don't know what's going on with my camera. Like, it'll record, I get to start recording and then it'll like turn off and it's like fully charged. The SIM is not like full or anything, so I don't really know what's going on. So we're just gonna record on my phone and it's fine. This is just as clear. But that's a big old bird. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Y'all, today has been a day. I have a quick little story time for y'all, but I gotta get out of this uniform first, cause let me just get out of this uniform. Okay, so now that I'm out of my costume and I can sit right here actually. Now that I'm out of that costume and in some regular clothes, and had a moment to decompress from today, y'all, today was such a long day. Like, we only had 3 flights today, and I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The problem is, I told y'all yesterday, I no longer do 4-day trips. 4 days is just, that's my limit. Like, a 4-day trip can never see me again, and I'm gonna be perfectly fine because I just feel like this, what's happening is because it's a 4-day trip. Like, that, it has to be. So the best way I could describe the situation, I'm trying to put the words together. Okay, so we had this one flight, and the flight is not even full. It's like 40 passengers. And I promise, it's always those flights with the least amount of passengers. Like, it just is. Like, I feel like sometimes we have a full flight, I just feel like things go smooth. But it's like once you have not that many, I think it's just a mind thing because it's like not that many passengers. It should be smooth. Wrong. First issue. There is like this family and there are so many children. And I'm not talking about just kids. Like, I'm talking about like tiny humans. And I'm just like, and answer this question for me down in the comments if you do this or you just know the answer to this question. Why do people with children like to sit in the back of the plane? Or if you travel with small children, do you prefer to sit in the back of the plane? And if so, why? I just want to know why. I just want to know why. Anyways, they're all in the back of the plane, and there are two, and these kids, they were under the age of 2. And if they were 2, they had probably just turned 2. They were tiny humans. And at first they were sitting side by side. And then I guess the parents decided that wasn't going to work. So one parent sat by one parent sat by the other. And then somehow a guy crossed the aisle, a different guy ended up with one of them. And then the row was empty. And I'm just like, where did the kids go? So I look at my manifest and quick policy story. If you have a lap child, that lap child has to sit in your lap for taxi takeoff and landing. Has to. That's what they're categorized as. That's where they have to sit. If there is an empty seat next to you during en route in flight, you can sit that child there. But for critical phases of flight, if it's labeled as a lap child, that child has to be in your lap. Vice versa. If you bought that child a seat, for critical phases of flight, that child has to be sitting in said seat with their seatbelt fastened. So when I saw her holding the child and realized that the kids were no longer in the seat, first of all, I'm looking for the other child because I'm like, where's this other child? Mind you, there were 2 bigger kids, maybe 11, 12, 13, because they had like iPads and tabs, so they were a little bit older. They were fine. They were sitting away from all of them in the back, in the very, very back. And then there were 2 other kids. They were maybe like 7 or 8. Like, they were all different ranges. And they were just all scattered around. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me look at my device and see, are they actually labeled as lap children? Because if they're labeled as lap children, then they're fine. They can hold the kids. But then I'm like, oh, no, they're not labeled as lap kids. So I tell the mom or the parents or the people that they're with, because there's like a lot of them. I'm like, for taxi, takeoff, and landing, the child has to be in their seats with the seatbelts fastened. Cool. Then, since the flight is so light, the captain calls us and he's like, you need to move some people around. So then we got to move people around, and it's a lot going on. So in the process of moving people around, again, they're like passing one of the babies is fine. Like, they're sitting in their seat, they're fine. This other one, she's not having it. She's not wanting to sit in this seat. She's just not having it. Fine. So I tell this lady 2 more times, because at this point, we got the doors closed. We're about to start a safety demo. We're about to start moving. I tell her again, like, ma'am, she has to be in her seat with seatbelt fastened, Then, right before we get ready to start the safety demo, the captain calls us back, and he's like, hey, I got to have you move some more people. We still not balanced, Cool, so we do that again, and this child, said child, is screaming to the top of their lungs. And at this point, when the child was in the seat, though, the child was not screaming. It wasn't until she picked the child up that the child started screaming. So by this time, it's like the 5th time I've asked her. And not only is she holding the child, The child is like standing up, and the child is like leaning over to the seat in front of them and pulling the hair of the passenger in front of them. The passenger in front of them is not with them. So the passenger in front of them is kind of like, you can tell like they're trying to like play it off and like, oh, you know, it's fine. But I can see the agitation on this passenger's face, which rightfully so, they should have agitation, because why are you allowing your child to pull my hair and they're supposed to be sitting down? So by this time, this is like literally the 5th time. So I tell her again, I was like, ma'am, I'm not going to ask you again. You have to put the child in the seat, in the seatbelt, or we cannot go. This lady tells me, are you going to ask her that? Her, referring to the child, this 2-year-old, which I'm assuming is 2, which is why you bought her a seat. It took everything in me to not say what I wanted to say. So the professional in me was like, ma'am, again, I need the child in their seat, in their seatbelt, or we can't go. Because what do you mean? Do I want to tell your 2-year-old to sit down? You're the adult here. You're older than both of us. Okay? Like, what's the issue? Anyways, so I'm reading my safety demo. This child is screaming the entire time, to the point where passengers are literally like, everyone is like antsy and looking around because they can hear the child screaming through my PA announcement, because they're right in the back with me. And I'm just like, okay. Y'all, I was so frustrated. That was just like a whole situation. Like, it was just so frustrating, but whatever. Kept my closure, whatever. Got through the flight. Then, on this same flight, during boarding, so I'm the flight attendant in the back. So during boarding, the flight attendant in the front, there are like 3 passengers that come on first. And one of the passengers, I know for a fact, was the wheelchair passenger because she needed help. So he helped her. And in the process of helping her, a few more passengers came on. And then I saw him go back over to her, say something to her. And then he went over to another passenger and said something to them. And mind you, I'm just watching. Like, I'm just observing everything. And he goes back up front. People are boarding. And then 2 more times during boarding, he said something again to said passenger. So again, I'm not paying attention to it, because in my mind, I'm thinking if there was an issue, he would communicate that to me or to the pilots, and somebody would communicate to me, because at this point, I'm just chilling in the back waiting on the doors to close, you know. So I'm like, okay, I guess ain't nothing going on. I guess he handled it, you know, whatever. So we take off finally. Late. Take off finally. Captain calls for initial descent. I make my initial announcement to get the cabin ready for a landing. And after I make my announcement, the flight attendant in the front comes to the back, and he's like, hey, let me tell you about the situation. So I'm thinking, my mind automatically goes to, oh, he's going to fill me in on the situation from earlier from the passengers, right? So he does. And it blows my mind. And the first thought was, that should have been something we communicated on first. Secondly, the issue at hand cannot be fixed in this moment for 2 reasons. 1, we about to land. 2, the situation should have been fixed at the gate before we left. And I'm just like, this cannot be real right now. So I'm asking follow-up questions. Did you do this? He's like, no. Okay. Well, what did you do? Because the question that I asked him, in my mind, would have solved everything. And it's not like, oh, well, maybe, no. One thing could have been done to solve the whole issue. And I'm like, okay, well, at this point, there's nothing we can do because we're about to land. So I'm just like, mind blown, y'all. Mind blown. Long story short, there was a passenger on our plane that we had no record of supposed to be on the plane, and where they were going, what their name was. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, that all could have been solved at the gate, because you caught the issue while we were boarding. But you wait until we're about to land to say something about it. And I'm just like blown away, because I'm just like, you cannot be for real. So I go and do what they should have done, which was basically ask the passenger for some form of identification. Willingly, she said, yes, here you go. Thanks. I took a picture of it. I went to the back, checked my notes with the ID. Mind you, we're in sterile. And if you don't know what that means we're about to land. And so I called the pilots and told them, I'm like, hey, I know we're not supposed to be calling right now. This is the absolute emergency, and this is not an emergency, but I didn't call them in emergency mode. But I kind of got to tell you something before we hit the ground so we can notify the right people to meet us at the gate. So, yeah. So the issue that happened should have been fixed at the gate in Austin, but the issue was also created in Austin. But had it been brought up in Austin, we could have got it fixed in Austin, not somewhere else. Y'all, it was a lot. And I'm just like, why? And it's so funny because I'm just like, I just feel like as the flight attendant in the back, you're just chilling. You're just chilling, making announcements. And I'm just like, why is... And I haven't been the aft flight attendant in the back all year. And I'm just thinking to myself, I was excited to be in the back because I'm like, oh, so much less responsibility. I'm looking forward to just chilling on this trip. No, not at all the issue. So yeah, that happened. So yeah, anyways, we're in Austin for the rest of the day. I can show y'all my view. Yeah, I can show y'all my view. This is my view. We're downtown Austin, so nothing too crazy. That's my view. So, and we come to this chain of hotel all the time, so nothing new or fancy to show you for the hotel. We are here for the rest of the day. We don't leave until tomorrow afternoon, so we're here like all day and half of tomorrow. So we got in at 2 p.m. So yeah, that was my day. I would love to say uneventful, just like we like it, but it wasn't uneventful. But it was safe and no one got hurt, so I'll take that any day. But I just ordered some food because I am not going outside because I just do not have the energy to deal with people. So ordered me some food. I'm about to just decompress. I just need some more time to decompress, because today was a whole day and I am peopled out, and I'm just standing here in this window and there's like so many people like walking by and everything, and I'm like, this is as close to people as I want to come, people watching. That's about it. So I will see you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me. It is day 3 of 4 and my body is like my body is anticipating home so much, because it's like I've gotten so used to doing 3-day trips that my body is like slowly shutting down, and I can feel it. And I'm just like trying to keep it together. It is 3:30. We are in New Orleans and we have 2 more flights. So we go from New Orleans to Austin, and then Austin to Memphis, and then we'll be done for the day. And then tomorrow we only have I only have 1 flight, because there was supposed to be 5 flights tomorrow. Not me. I'm not a 5 flight in 1 day type of girl, so no. So I ended up dropping the last 2 turns. So tomorrow, after we do Memphis back to Minneapolis, I leave the crew, they get another flight attendant, and that's their business. I'm not doing 5 flights on go home day, especially on a 4-day trip. Like that's crazy. This flight was super empty. I think there were barely any passengers on this flight. Like, let me see if I can look up how many passengers we had on this flight. We had I won't give you the passenger count. So the Widget Airline updated these apps, and I personally don't like the new setup, because it doesn't give us the information clearly like it did on the other app, where it just gave you the information. So I'm not even, I don't like that. Just tell me how many people on this flight. That's all I want to know. It won't even, see, our old app gave us like the actual number of people. This one, I'm not gonna do math, but I'm just gonna estimate it was probably like 30 people on this flight. But yeah, not a lot of people. Everyone was super chill, super quiet. And after yesterday's debacle, I was like, oh my gosh, another flight with not that many people, so something crazy is gonna happen. But half the plane was asleep, so there only left about 15 people. 12 of those 15 were in first class, and the other whatever were in the back with me, so it was perfect. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back to Austin, and we don't have a sit, which I am so happy about. I'm so happy we don't have a sit. And I thought we did have a sit, but hold on, let me look again before I open my mouth. I don't think we have a sit though. $3.33. Nope. We have a quick turn when we get back, which I love, and I am fine with that. It looks like we are halfway or a little over halfway full for this next flight. Yeah. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 seats open. So not full, but not empty either. So yeah, I will update you guys when we get to Memphis. This is a short overnight. It's basically minimum rest because we get in so late. Yeah. Well, actually, it's a 15-hour overnight, but we get in so late. We get in at like 8:20, and then we don't leave tomorrow until 11. Well, the flight doesn't leave until 12:30 tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. So, but yeah, if anything happens between now and then, I will let you guys know. You're so funny. Oh, I'm recording. Alright, so just made it to Memphis for the night. My sister came and met me. Hey sis.
Hello.
I'm gonna give y'all a quick room tour because we just switched our hotels in Memphis. We don't stay at the old hotel no more. So a quick little room tour. So hold on, wait. When you walk in, got a full length mirror, bathroom, shower. You have the bed, and it's like built-in closet type thing. View of downtown Memphis. Chair, fridge, microwave, TV, all the things. And y'all, I thought this was so cool. The little bedside lamps, they're microphones. I thought that was really cool. But yeah. But that's the room. Today was uneventful, just like we like it. Much better than yesterday. But nothing too crazy. So tomorrow's go home day. Only one flight tomorrow. And I will let y'all know how that goes tomorrow. So I'm editing this video to post it to you guys, and I'm realizing that I did not do an outro for this video. So this is going to be a quick outro. Side note, I don't know if you guys noticed in the video how I was like slowly deteriorating, but I ended up getting so sick after that trip. And I'm just gonna blame it on the fact that it was a 4-day because I just was not used to 4 days. And I got so sick that I ended up having to call out for my next trip. Like, I was so sick. Like, I went to the doctor, and you guys don't know this, but that was the first time I've called out in like a year and a half. Like, I was just that sick. Because normally if I have like a little sniffle or whatever, I'll take some medicine. I'll be fine for the next morning and kind of like dose as I go through my trip, and then I'm fine. But sick, down bad, like real sick. And I ended up calling out for the next trip. And I think I mentioned that in the next trip that I started recording. So you guys will see that. Sorry for all the noise in the back. I have no idea what that is. Anyways, I have no idea what that is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, fly high and stay safe, guys.